Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hey, good evening and welcome to the Sunday night edition of Into the Night with your host, Sean Kelly. I want to thank you, Talk Radio 105.3, 107.7 New Orleans, allowing me to give you Sunday nights from 8:10 to 10:10 p.m. and Tuesday nights from 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. So tonight is a 2-hour show. Hey, Kevin. Hey, that girl. How are you? How's life treating you? But, I don't know. It's been a weird week. It's been a weird weekend. It's just like one of them blah days, blah weeks, blah weekend, you know? And I has ever did experience something like that, this past week or weekend. Just like again in the world, or in the universe, somewhere. And to be honest with you, I'm tired of right. I'm tired of how things are bad at work sometimes, and kinds of stuff that is happening. And I've said this on the show many a time, and there are no people. And my internet's all crazy again, so I'll be coming in and out, or I might be, whatever. I can't think of the word right now. But I'm just hoping that, it gets a little bit better. Well, I know for a fact that the heat is not helping out a lot. It isn't. And it's really you. And I guess, did anybody ever watch the movie, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I think it was called Alien, or one of them, where they're out in the jungle, and this alien is hunting them, that goes in between trees without seeing, with people seeing. 2 movies of those, okay? And and it all stems around, the movie partake is filmed, and it's really hot and it's really humid, and week, you know. And hey, Heidi, good to see you. Good to see you, Heidi. Like this all night. You know, it's um, we're due because it was really hot and humid, and the heat was really high. And and so I'm thinking about that today. Okay, I'm thinking about that, and it's just like the movie from Predator, you know, um, and people, there's a lot of predators going around. That might seem weird, but that's what is going on in the brain right now. Think about it, everybody. This heat is ridiculous, okay? You know, and so, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm in that Predator movie right now. Different type of show. It's called the Chit Chat Show, okay? And I want to talk chit chat about everything and anything, you know. I have a couple things I want to talk about, you know, and I think my computer's possessed, to be honest with you. I bet you it's possessed. This past week, all over the internet, all over YouTube, all over TikTok, Instagram, everything. They were talking about the USS Abraham Lincoln, okay, where they weren't getting food, or everything was going bad, and you know, definitely a definitely depressing. And what really got my goat about the whole thing was the sailors just called home and just told their parents what was going on. And then the parents went and talked to, you know, people are wanting to commit, unalive themselves because they feel this stress because they've been out to sea for like 270 days on the ship. And it started something all over the United States Navy lawyer. Okay. I was on one, USS Independence. And we were out at sea for a very long time. I'm breaking up. I use my computer, hon. Hey, Carol. Hey, Ambrose. Sorry about breaking up, but for some reason, Heidi, all week long, it's been like that. Oh my gosh, get that. Oh my Lord. You're going into Dan and boom. Okay, you're gone. So look at that. Seriously, what that dude just said. It's crazy. It's unreal. I wonder how many others they go on and talk shit like that. So, again now. So I was on a carrier back in 1983 to 85. I was on another ship, you know. So I did 4 years and 30 days. And back then, okay, back then, we didn't have cell phones on the ship. No one in the Navy had cell phones that I know. And we were on ship. That was our duty. That's what we signed up for. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that it was all peaches and cream. It wasn't. Okay. When you're out at sea, oh, you too, Heidi. Okay. I think everybody is. It must be a solar, what do they call them? Solar flares out in the universe. I don't know. But we were out there and there was no place for us to go. Okay. And if our ship was ordered to stay out there for a certain period of time, then we did it. And there was no animosity. No one was going off the deep end. Nobody. Hey, Johnny. And it you just did it. You work 12 hours on, you work 12 hours off when you're out at sea. And to be honest with you, everybody, when I was out at sea, I loved it. No cars, no people, except my shipmates. Didn't have to worry about paying the bill. I got 3 meals a day, and sure, there was a couple times where, some people kind of lost it, you know. I'm not one. I'll be the first to admit I wasn't. I just accepted what was going on. When they say take it one day at a time, that's what I did. And that's what everybody on the ship did. So I'm just hearing this and I'm just shaking my head. It's because a lot of people who were in the military, and I'm not just talking Navy, I'm talking Army, Marines, people who served in the Iraq War, Vietnam War. Please don't ever forget your Vietnam vets. And it just got me, it really struck me the wrong way. How a news agency could just take a story that a mother has written or a family member written to them and just broadcast it all over and making the Navy giving it a bad mark, a bad deal. For everybody out there that don't know what goes on in the carrier, okay, there are people on board that carrier. There are chaplains. There are counselors. And you have your own shipmates that can help you. Okay? That can help you. There was no teasing, there was no mockery. There was there was some fun, jagging around with each other. But who doesn't do that? I can guarantee it on the Abraham Lincoln, the USS Abraham Lincoln, that there are 2 or 3 different chaplains on board that could help you. Because they sit and they talk, and then they listen to you. That's where you grieve. And if it gets to the point, I've seen it happen when I was in, where it gets to the point where, hey, I can't deal with this today. I'm really having a hard time with this deployment. And then eventually you go to a counselor, and then eventually it goes up the chain of command, and there's that chance that they can put you offshore somewhere so you can get back home. And oh, look at that. Oh, I froze. And then you can get discharged with honorable under medical. But for people that are on the Abraham Lincoln that are having, and they say that there was 10 people that tried to unalive themselves. Hey, Dolly, good to see you, hon. There, 10 of them were unalive, and 1 actually jumped, but they actually got them in the ocean. They got them. You signed the paper to do your 4 years. You knew you were going to go out to sea. You knew you were going to be on the ship. You knew that. But I blame the family for doing what they did. And there's all kind of Navy vets on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and they're livid. They're livid because we didn't. You just didn't do that. Like I said before, we never had cell phones back then. We couldn't go to some computer room and do a FaceTime with our family. We didn't do that. The only correspondence that you got was from a letter from home. But that was it. And now every practically everybody has a cell phone on board the ship. Now, I just read something that blew me away. They can take their cell phones to boot camp. Boot camp. I mean, and that was what, 1986? I forget what year it was. That, the Navy changed the rules for allowing to bring cell phones to boot. And, but they don't use them every night where they can go on their apps or whatever. I mean, they're only limited like 10 calls for 6-8 weeks that they're in. And the reason why they did it, because a lot of guys were leaving the Navy because they couldn't use their cell phones. And I'm like, what the hell? It just boggles my mind that people actually think that they could just do whatever in the hell they want to do when they go to boot, and then when they get out there in on the ships or whatever station duty you're on. I had a fun time doing it. It was hard. It got really, really hard, but I got to talk to somebody. I got to talk to the chaplains. I got to talk to the counselors that were on board the ship. And then I had my shipmates to talk to. Not all of them, but some of them. And they helped me keep it together. I turned to booze and alcohol when I was in the Navy. I was a bad alcoholic. I drank because there were times I just couldn't deal with reality being in the service. But they got me help. They sent me to a rehab. They took care of it. And for some person to come out there and say, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. 2026. Okay. Thank you, buddy. But for somebody to go to CNN or MSN now or whatever, saying that they're being mistreated and because they haven't pulled into a port. Well, I'm going to tell you what will happen, because there is another carrier going over to relieve the Abraham Lincoln. So when the Lincoln starts going home, if they pull into a port, when you pull into a port, it's usually 2 to 3 days. You pull in. And then you got people who are standing watch, who are doing their duty, that can't go off leave. So they split it. Half go off one day, half go off the other. Stays on the ship. And when you get out, you can't stay overnight in a place at a certain time. So out of 3 days, you might be able to get 12 hours of being on shore. Then you got to do it all over again. Protocols are nice. I went to many nice places. Okay. But I knew that we were going to be leaving. So we made the best of it. Which comes down to the mental health of things. I don't know if I'm going to be kicked off or they're going to shut me off when I talk about mental illness. But it's tough. I got mental illness, and I'm not afraid to say it. I have depression. I have all kinds of others going on with me. And I try to get the help for it. And sometimes there's no help. They send you to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and they'll listen to you, and then they'll write down whatever's going on. And then they'll pull out this big ass pill book. Okay. Okay, this is what he has. What pill do we give him? And before you know, you're on like 7 or 8 different pills just for your mental illness, your anxiety, your depression. All I wanted at one point in time in my life, when I was in real heavy depression. One time I just wanted somebody to listen to me. Johnny has it. And I just wanted somebody to sit and listen to me talk. And that's what I need, but I never got that. Part of it's my fault because I didn't really go out there to look for somebody to talk to. And it's like the only person it seemed like that I could actually talk to were the doctors. And that's why I'm so grateful for Alcoholics Anonymous. Back in 1991, I got sober. And I could go to a meeting and people would listen. And they would care. not only did it stop, um, not only did it stop me from, staying sober, but also I met a lot of good people who actually sat down and listened to me. Heidi says, don't get me started on Big Farm. When I started going to mental health, I did not want to mask with pills. Yeah. Dolly says that is number one issue, being able to talk out what you're thinking to put it into perspective. Yes. Then years later, Heidi says, and years later, I could have been Big Farm top sales rep. Yeah. Sometimes, Heidi, when you said that, okay, I should have taken stock in pharmaceuticals. I bet you I'd be rich by now. That's all that's true, doll. Honestly, is just to talk it out, put things into perspective. And it was hard to find people. Sure, you would pull somebody out. You sit down and talk with them, and um, okay. So you talk to them, and they're like, okay, 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 and they don't even listen. So what I do is I go to, hey, I remember one time a psychologist, I don't know if it's the psychiatrist or the psychologist, hey, my lady, and I don't know which one, but the Scotsman, good to see you. I don't know who it was, but they gave me pills. And I remember taking pills for my anxiety and my depression. When I showed my sponsor what pills I was taking, he said, throw them away. If you want to get better, work the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. And how does that make me feel? I don't know. Right now, Kara, honestly, I have no feelings at all where I'm at now. It always says I had to learn the events, we not crisis, to find 5 minutes to not react in a way I was trained. But in the long run, there is a good ending for me on my part. Okay, my son was born in 1991. In 1991, my son was born, and at that time, like 4 months later, that's when I went into AA. And I have the best things in my life right now because I worked on myself. I worked on the depression. I did what I had to do. Not a little help with Spirit. Spirit helped me out a lot. Okay, he did. And now I got a wonderful son. He's got a good job, got a doctorate in DNA. I have my family. I have you, everyone who listened to my show. I have you. And when I say it all the time, I really look forward to Sundays and Tuesday nights because my best people are here listening to the show. And that's what makes me happy. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me going is my podcast into the night. Sundays and Tuesday nights. I look forward to it. And then whenever whenever I go, start getting crazy, there's always Friday night with Joe on News on the Flip Side with Joe and Jay. And then we have the chat on Saturday night, 7 to 10. So things are getting better. But please, everybody, if you see somebody out there having a hard time, let them talk to you. Thank you, Joni. Joni says, I look forward to Sundays and Tuesday nights too. Thank you, dear. If you see somebody out there that is hurting, Really, really hurting. Just go over and say hi. And I guarantee it, they will start talking. And all you need to do is listen. That's all you need to do. Just let them talk. Because the more people talk, the more they get the bullshit out of their system. So I am going to go on my break. We're at the 31-minute live mark. So I am going to take a break and for a couple minutes, and I'll come back, and then we'll chit chat more. And I thought about it. Halloween. Dolly says, just so you know, I'm always watching. You got my support. Thank you, Dolly. That means a lot. That means a lot. Thank you. So we're going to go on a break. And when I come back, we're going to talk about numerology, Heidi's favorite and everybody's favorite. And then some more has to do with numerology, too. So I'll see you back in a couple minutes. Everybody go grab a cigarette, get something to drink, do what you got to do, and I'll see you in 2. Ooh, I like that one.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation. I have come before you losing my control.
Welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. Again, I want to thank UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, for letting me give you 2 hours a week, Sunday nights, 8:10 to 10:10 p.m., and on Tuesday nights, thank you, Heidi, and on Tuesday nights from 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. And Kevin says, and if you don't smoke, find someone who smokes and laugh my ass off. Sorry, bad Kevin. That's, yeah, bad Kevin. Until you talk, I think I do it right. Can you do it like that? Yeah, that's back to you, darling. Thank you, and Heidi, and everybody in the chat. But, so it is Chit Chat night. And so I'm laying down getting ready for the show, and I'm thinking, thank God for AI, Google AI. Just thank it. I mean, I love it because it's my to-go-to thing, you know. And all of a sudden, Halloween popped up into my brain. Okay, Halloween did. Okay, and I'm thinking, why do we celebrate Halloween? Can anybody tell me why we celebrate Halloween? And how do you celebrate Halloween? Man, when I was in my 30s and 40s, oh my God, I had a grand old time. I did. I had a grand old time. Go to Halloween parties, look all the crazy nuts out there wearing, you know, all kinds of weird ass costumes. People going out and having a good time, getting drunk. But I didn't get drunk. I was sober. Well, in my 20s, early 20s, I got drunk. But Halloween was a fun time for me. Dolly says to see our loved ones and to confuse the bad spirits. Yes, so true, Dolly, so true. But Halloween is celebrated because it combines an ancient Celtic harvest festival with Christian holy days, evolving over 2,000 years into a modern day for costumes, treats, and community fun. Oh, Cherie says hello, Dolly. Um, Ancient roots, Sam Hain or Sam Hine or salmon. I'm not making fun of it. I just have a hard time, saying the word. The roots mark the end of the harvest and the start of winter. The Celts believed the wall between the living and dead thinned on October 31st. I believe, everybody, that there is no more um, thin layer. I think it's gone. I think it's gone. There is no more thin wall between our world and spirit world anymore. Thank you, Kevin. And they say people lit bonfires and wore costumes to scare away wandering spirits. Maybe back then. Veil, what veil? That's right, Kevin. What veil? There ain't no more veil. There was back then, but now with all the craziness going out there in the universe, it's like, nah, not no more. But another reason why I brought up Halloween too is because in my store that I work at, they put up the Halloween candy. Can you believe that? It's August and they put up Halloween candy. Dolly says there is a thin wall, is humming that has list abilities to see it. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Doll. Appreciate that. But they put out Halloween candy in my store already. And it's August. Do you and you guys can answer this question? Yes, humanity. Yeah. Do you believe that Halloween is just a making money holiday for candies and that? Cherise says, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Cherise, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I see a lot of things in my mind's eye. Yes. Holly says, it's only the middle of August and they're already starting with the pumpkin spice. Don't get me there with pumpkin spice. Honest to God. Oh, Holly, you struck a nerve. I think pumpkin spice is the nastiest tasting thing in the world. I don't care. put it in coffee, you put it on donuts, you put it in cakes, you put it, oh my God. And don't worry, right up, probably all the way up to New Year's, I'll be saying, the hell with pumpkin spice. I can't deal with that shit. That's nasty. It's a nasty tasting, but that's my opinion. Dolly hates it. Cool. The spooky season for Heidi. Yes. No pumpkin spice here. Oh, okay. You are essentially two names, Charles and Reese. Okay, thank you. um, but oh God, no pumpkin spice. Especially when it comes around Thanksgiving, they really pile it on. I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh, so the church. This is the religious part of it. The church created All Saints Day on November 1st to honor saints. The night before became All Hallows Eve, which later turned into Halloween. Hey, Face the Eight. How are you, sir? Thank you for popping in, man. Good to see you. And old customs mixed with new religious practices over the centuries. Well, when I was, okay, hold on now. We got some more stuff going on here. Now, the modern traditions, the Irish and the Scottish immigrants brought these customs to North America. Do you know in Ireland they did not use pumpkins? They actually used turnips. Trick or treating grew from older European traditions of begging for food or treats. Yeah, and what's wrong with that? There ain't nothing wrong with not begging. Get dressed up. For us during Halloween, what we pass out microwave popcorn. If you want a nice, decent treat to give somebody, give them popcorn, microwave popcorn. They love it, man. Even the parents will go after when they're out with 3 or 4 of their little kids trick or treating and they're trying to keep up with them, you know. you gotta give them one. Kevin says it's hilarious to see the pumpkin spice lovers versus haters. I am not of the flavors in drinks, but do love the reactions. Well, you'll get a lot of reactions out of my butt during this time of the year. So like that became the specific of trick or treating. Go not begging for food. Now focus on parties, candy, scary stories, and carving pumpkins. Ooh, Dolly says, I used to make popcorn marshmallow balls. Ooh, hmm. Maybe when I was a youngster, maybe I think I had a couple of them, but now my sugar, diabetes, they'd have to jack up my diabetes medicine for that. But it's okay. Metformin, that's what I did. Oh, Joni, come on now. Joni loves that pumpkin spice latte. Oh, Lord. I still love you, Joni. You're a Pittsburgh girl. But if you like pumpkin spice latte, then drink your pumpkin spice latte. That's okay. My teeth. Yes, absolutely. And it says, yeah, jack-o'-lanterns were made from turnips. And I said that, which is true. So it's like Halloween is the greatest, to me, is great. It's and I really enjoyed it before I got into the spiritual side of things. I did. Yes, we are old buggers. We are. Yes. I remember taking pillowcases and we'd go all over Dormont to get candies. And if you wore a mask and you went to Minio's Pizza on the corner of West Liberty Avenue, you got a free pizza slice if you had a mask on. That's when it was fun. you know. I'm sure, I don't know where everybody else was from or lived, but at one point in time, they stuck razor blades into apples and they would lace the candies with like some kind of stupid stuff to get people sick. That happened for about 2 years. And then, people just quit giving out freaking apples, you know. But Halloween was fun. And just now, being the old buggers we are, okay, I love Halloween because my brother, he really decks out the house. In fact, I'll tell you what, when he decks out the house, hey, Robert, me, remember Rob? Yes, yes, Rob, my best friend growing up. Even to this day, he don't know, but he still is. And one of my earliest memory was dropping a bag of candy on a dark street. Oh wow, oh wow, that's not a good memory. No, but we had fun back then. And now you got the police going all over Dormont watching the trick or treaters, which I think is a good thing. Okay, because there's a bunch of nutcases. Kevin says, yep, pillowcases was all about Halloween rage. Yep, so we had to have our treats inspected by parents due to those ash jacks. Yeah, absolutely. Now, let me ask everybody out here who went trick or treating seriously, and I did this with my son. No, no seatbelts. I remember that. Oh my God, no. But let me ask, for your kids, when your kids were younger, did you take the Reese's tax? Did you tax your children on Reese's cups? Love you too, brother. Huh? Did you have the Reese's tax where they came back and you snatched up all the freaking um, Reese's cups off your kids? Oh, when my son got older and he went out, yeah, I got my Reese's. I got my Reese's tax. My mom did. His mom did. It was great. And now we're grumpy. If Dolly says a friend of mine's father had coffins out front and headstones, and the family dressed up like monsters. Mom was the witch, and you had to be brave to pick a treat out of the cauldron. Yep. Oh my God. Yeah. And Dolly says, yep, to the Reese's. Oh, that is so cool. Our neighbor did that a lot every year. He would set up a coffin or he would play the good Frankenstein. It was cool. Scores. Okay. I've seen them around that score candies. Yeah. I've seen them around. Okay. So Kevin says, LOL Reese's peanut butter cups. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was the go to candy to get during Halloween. And then, I don't know, Dolly, that, Kevin had to eat all the questionable candy. There was a lot of them, Robert. Oh my God. Me and Rob went all over Dormont every year. We got bags and bags of them. Kara says, I got so Reese's and Three Musketeers. The kids got all the rest. Yes. But do you remember back then, how they got these little mini Milky Ways, these mini Reese's, these mini bars? When I was trick or treating, yeah, I'm old. We got the big ones. They passed out the big ones. Dolly says, my daughter was born in 1990. Oh my God, the candy she got. Oh, yeah. Dolly, my son was born in 1990. Yes, September 19th. And the candy bars were huge. Oh my God, they were huge. Those were some good candy bars. But the rich neighborhood handed out full size bars. Ah, okay. Well, Dormont wasn't so rich, but they still gave out the big bars. But we had a lot of fun. Oh, yours is in June. Okay. old ladies gave out apples. Uh, I can't say their name, but our neighbor passed out dimes. He got 7 dimes. Yeah, but it was fun. We had a lot of fun back then. So the reason why I brought up Halloween, okay, first of all, I was thinking about it, and then when it numerology or spiritual numbers, and I know a lot of people in my chat and a lot of people who have listens to me, you know, they're really big into the spirit numbers, right? Okay, so it says there are, it's going to be a long read, not too long, but there are 76 days until Halloween, which will be celebrated October 31st, 2026. Hey, 7 Time brought lots of candy in the 60s. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Oh, gosh, I wish the kids would experience what we experienced. Honest to Pete. Now, the countdown breakdown. Okay, so we got 76 days until Halloween, which is on Saturday, October 31st, 2026. Weeks remaining 10 weeks and 6 days. Total sleeps 76. Total hours roughly 1,824 hours. Now, okay, so here we go. So I looked under the spiritual numbers for, you know, um, so the first thing that really caught my eye, my attention, was the hours. Okay. And I just subtracted 2 hours here, but the spiritual meaning of the number 1,824. You're already hiding, you're gonna like faint when you see this, when you hear this. In fact, everybody is going to. It blew me away as I read it. The angel, as an angel number combining the vibrations of 1, 8, 2, and 4, it blends messages of new beginnings, personal power, balance, and hard work to build a stable foundation for your goals. Now, the breakdown of the digits: number 1, fresh starts, self leadership, motivation, and creating your own reality through positive thoughts. Okay, side note, it's 702 and have 27%. Okay, all right, I'll look that up later, I promise. Number 8, personal power, inner wisdom, abundance, and the universal law of cause and effect, karma. The number 2, balance, harmony, faith, trust, and serving your deeper life purpose. Kara said, I just realized I can start decorating for Halloween now. You sure can. Oh, I know you weren't, sweetie. She wasn't trying to interpret. I know you weren't, babe. Number 4, diligence, determination, practical application, and building solid foundations with the help of the archangels. The always like number is 9. Mine's 8. Now, the spiritual messages, the core of it, courage to step past what is familiar and enter your personal power. Trust that your optimism and hard work are aligning with positive karmic returns. Dedicate your energy to creating stable, long-term foundations in work and relationships. So that is 1824. Okay, how many hours are left? So I said, what the hell? So we got 76, right? So, of course, what did I do? The 76 spiritual meaning. See, I did my homework, but I got my thing. Hey, Faciation. The spiritual meaning of the number 76 blends the intuitive awakening energy of the number 7 with the grounded, nurturing, and material focus of the number 6. Together as an angel number, it signifies a harmonious balance between your spiritual growth and your daily physical life. The spiritual meanings. It's balancing worlds. It serves as a sign that you have successfully aligned your inner spiritual values with your outer material responsibilities, such as home and family. Trusting inner wisdom, the number encourages you to rely on your intuition and inner voice rather than seeking validation from others of society. Ain't that so cool as hell? And that number I love that. The number encourages you to rely on your intuition and inner voice rather than seeking validation from others or society. Heidi says, my guides had to get really creative to wake me up, so they threw numbers constantly until I questioned that. Wasn't into school. Thank you, Face. And that's true. And the divine support. Seeing this number acts as assurance from the universe that your material and domestic needs will be met as you pursue your higher path. I'll repeat that again. Seeing this number acts as an assurance from the universe that your material and domestic needs will be met as you pursue your higher path. Isn't that really great, man? Number 7 resonates with the spiritual awakening, deep inner wisdom, and psychic institution. Number 6 relates to home, family, unconditional love, service to others, and material provisions. Isn't this sweet? It just popped into my mind. And the root number, 7 plus 6 equals 13, 1 plus 3 equals 4, reduces to the number 4, which adds an extra layer of stability, foundation, and hard work in building a secure life. Amen to that. Isn't that interesting? That is so freaking interesting. And I think I got one more. Hold on. Let me see. Oh yeah. So we said what? 10 weeks and 6 days. So the 106 spiritual meeting. Check this out. It's amazing. I love these breakdowns. The spiritual meaning of the number 106 combine the core energies of 1, 0, and 6. It signifies fresh starts driven by personal willpower, a connection to the infinite divine, and a strong focus on nurturing your home, family, and material well being. Yours is 4. Thank you. I'm going to call you Therese. Okay. The core number 1 stands for new beginnings, creation, leadership, and taking bold steps toward your goals. Okay, it's all right. Please don't apologize, brother. You're okay. It's all good. The number 0 represents eternity, wholeness, and the start of a spiritual journey, amplifying the power of the numbers next to it. And the number 6 resonates with home, family, responsibilities, domestic harmony, and providing your material needs. Your thoughts shape, this is the angel number 106. Your thoughts shape your physical world, and you are urged to keep your mindset optimistic regarding money and daily stability. Expect new and unexpected opportunities that will help sustain your life and answer your needs. And the last one is focus on creating a peaceful, supportive environment for your loved ones while honoring your inner spiritual path. I thought that was interesting when I started reading this, and that's why I brought up that. But Heidi Face says, awesome. Heidi says, my number has always been 3. I'm a life past 6, and my ninth year, love the 369 sync too. Your ninth year astrology. Huh, interesting. But we are at the 1 hour mark, and you know what that means. It's time to take another break. Okay, so go to the bathroom, smoke a cigarette, do what you got to do. Let pause out if you need to be out. And say a little theory. That is Sean. I'm blown away by at times. Me too. I was blown away by looking at this. It was great. So everybody, it'll be about a 2-minute break here. Okay, and we'll be back. There, can we play this one? Nope, not that one. This one.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans. Oh, wow. Welcome back. Wow. I hope everybody got to smoke a cigarette, go to the bathroom, get a Coke and a smile, and all that kind of good stuff. So we are going into the third part of the show. Okay. And of course, I was searching TikTok again, just rummaging through it, and I find some stuff that was pretty interesting. And I think last year I did a show on this. But
I saw some kind of weird, interesting things. You know. Yeah, thank you, Heidi. If there are any children in the room watching this on, your room, please, please, please let them go away, or send them out and make popcorn balls or something. What I want to bring up too is when I was searching while watching TikTok, it was called the creepy Disney theories that will keep you awake at night. So if there's anybody out there, okay, that that has children that really likes Disney and these different Disney tales, kind of like hold their ears or something like that. You know what I mean? Don't forget, please share this show um, to everybody out there because the numbers are going down here in the chat room. So who are watching it? So if you can share it and get it back up again, appreciate it. So the first one blew me away. Now the first one, Moana, she actually dies during the storm near the beginning of the movie. She then is brought back to life by Tafiti to go back to the human world. Okay. Heidi says, every kid I know knows I do not like Disney. Nothing. Disney's scary, man. Disney is very, very scary. Okay. But that's Moana. Okay. Why would she want to send him back send her back to the human world? Heidi says, I've always thought something was up with the whole crew. I agree. Seriously. Now, here's craziness. I've watched this when I was young. We all watched this when we were young. Okay, now as you get older, you realize, holy shit, these things have different meanings to them. So, Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. The main characters of Winnie the Pooh all represent a mental disorder. For example, Tigger had ADHD, and Eeyore has major depressive disorders. And I think Piglet with other kind of stuff. It just, and when I read this, I got really mad. I was like pissed. I was like, you know what? I've been watching this all my life, and it's like, I did not believe that. Then as I looked on and, I actually saw the cartoons, I'm thinking, hell, that's craziness. And it's all true. The prince who woke up sleeping Beauty didn't know she was alive. Why was he kissing a corpse? Now, there's another thing about this. Sleeping Beauty was actually dead. She died. Okay. And this is another angle at the ending. And so the prince who came to Sleeping Beauty was actually an angel. And what he did was he gave her a kiss and she woke up, but it wasn't her body that woke up, it was her spirit that woke up. And at the end of Sleeping Beauty, you see the white castle out there in the white clouds. And I truly believe that he was actually taking her to heaven. But isn't it amazing? Isn't it really crazy and hard to comprehend that the people who wrote Disney, I mean, just, did they really know what they were talking about when they wrote the stories? Did they really know that, Winnie the Pooh, that ADHD with Tigger and with Piglet and Eeyore, Major, did they know about it or did they just write it? That's the question I'd like to know. Did they know what they were writing? But I guess you can take anything that you read and you can kind of miss and screw whatever that word is. Oh, those were known. Okay, thanks, doll. But could you take a story that was written and medically known? Okay, thank you. Um, thank you very. I'm glad you said that, Dolly, because it just like really kind of like blew me away. All those years I watched Winnie the Pooh, and I didn't realize it was all about all kinds of mental stuff. Kind of confused me there. Kind of got me mad, to be honest with you, Dolly. It did. Kara says, I think they wrote Pooh like that one on purpose. Okay, it's very possible. So back when Pooh was written, then I guess everybody knew, or a certain amount of people only knew about mental illness. And it was crazy, and they never explained it to us back then, but now we do know. Do I still like watching Winnie the Pooh? Yeah, I do. Do I get a better understanding of Winnie the Pooh now? I sure do. Is it going to stop me from watching Winnie the Pooh? No. And I'm 64. I still watch Winnie the Pooh. By the way, everybody, I'm going to throw this question out here. Okay. What was your favorite Disney movie? What was your favorite Disney movie? You could share it in the chat room. That would be like so cool. I'll tell you what mine was when Lady and the Tramp. That was the best Disney movie ever. Lady and the Tramp. Kara says might have not known it was a disorder, but maybe they knew people with those assumptions. That's possible. Heidi says Fantasia. Never saw that one, Heidi. I was so stuck on Lady and the Tramp. And the coolest thing about Lady and the Tramp is when they were sitting there eating that spaghetti. Dolly loved. Oh, Mary Poppins was good too. Yes, absolutely. But you know the best part of the best scene in Lady and the Tramp? There was two of them. One when they were sitting there eating a plate of spaghetti, and they were sucking up the one, and they kissed. I thought that was like so cool. O'Malley the Alley Cat. I don't think I ever saw that one. Oh, your parents liked that movie too, huh? That's cool. And then he would push the meatball over to her. To me, and then you had Peggy Lee. She was dancing in, I guess, the dog pound or whatever. Peggy Lee singing "He's a Tramp." I swear to God, that was like the coolest thing ever. The Aristocrats are pretty good. How about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? That was a good one. Oh yeah. Around the World in 80 Days. That was a good one. They had so many good movies back then. They did it. They had good movies. And then somebody decided to write this shit about them. Craziness, man. Craziness. Let's see. That's it, Heidi. I like Mermaid probably because I could relate to her feeling trapped. Peter, now here's the one that's really crazy. And the more I thought about it, and I've watched it, the more I thought about it, it blew me away when I first read it. And I had to, oh my God, Dolly, the Jungle Book. These were the bare necessities. Oh, yeah, that was a good show. The bare necessities. Oh, yeah, definitely. But here's the crazy one. Here's the crazy one that blew me away. And I really looked into it. We are shameless if you don't, please. Oh, look at everybody. Everybody's smiling in the chat room. It is so good to see that. I could feel the happy energy coming from everybody. That's cool. I like that. But here's the crazy one. And I come to think of it, I'd never wrapped my head around it until I kept reading about it. The Siamese. Yeah, we are Siamese, if you please. Kara says I couldn't stand Chitty Chitty because I babysat, kissed that watch, and then on a loop. Oh, honey, you know what? When my son was young, you know what his favorite show was? The Wizard of Oz. Imagine watching The Wizard of Oz 5 to 6 times a day, every day. 5 to 6 times a day. Oh my God. Whenever the flying monkeys would come in, right, he'd go into the other room until the flying monkeys were done. But we had to watch that when he was young. Oh, honestly. But here, Peter Pan. And just listen to this. And I would like to hear what you have to say. Dumbo was cool. But I'm going to read this, and I want to hear what you all have to say about it. Peter Pan was the villain all along, not Captain Hook. All Hook was doing was trying to stop Peter from kidnapping innocent children. Also, his pirates are all children he rescued from Peter. I'm going to read that one more time, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. Pinocchio was cool. Peter Pan was the villain all along, not Captain Hook. All Hook was doing was trying to stop Peter from kidnapping innocent children. Also, his pirates are all children he rescued from Peter. What do you guys think? Who said that? Um, the guy who wrote this Dark Conspiracy Theory, who does dark, it's right here on my TikTok, Dark Conspiracy Theory, I think. What do you guys think? I don't know. I know and some other things that I read that Tinkerbell, right? She really was jealous of Wendy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tinkerbell was jealous. There's all kinds of shit about Peter Pan. But with Peter Pan being the villain, that's like I don't know, just like cross I don't know. I'm like lost for words. Totally lost for words on that one. Um Disney Frozen. Here's a good one. What do you think of this one, everybody? Frozen. Disney made Frozen because they wanted to cover up people searching Disney Frozen to find Walt Disney's cryogenically frozen body. I don't believe that shit. I don't. I mean, this dude, I mean, must sit in the basement when he writes these things, and he just comes up. Dolly says the children who Peter Pan rescued were orphans who were being treated badly. Yes, that's what I heard. That's what I saw. But this dark conspiracy theory dude, man, I don't know. Like I said, he must be sitting in a basement somewhere with no lights on and just his computer, in his own mind. But we all know, okay, we can't judge people, especially on my show. You just can't judge them because that's what they want. His head was put in cryogenic containment. Yes. How the hell can you put the whole body? So it just shows you how much I really put into um, this dark conspiracy theory. But I thought I brought this. I think I have one more here to tell you about. And then I was just like, I just wanted to hear you all's opinion and tell me what you think. Oh, I know it did. Yeah. Yeah, that did really happen. That they froze Disney's head. He's still frozen. And last but not least, now I'm kind of sad on this one, but now this one kind of hurt. It's not Disney, but when I was preteen, I loved Roots. It made me cry. Always felt I had a past life helping slaves or something. Thank you for sharing that, Kara. Thank you. Um, it's possible you were a slave in the past life, but helping slaves, that's great. I can understand how that would make you cry. Now, I'll blow you away, from what I believe, because for the longest time, I don't know who does dreams, if anybody knows anything about dreams. Okay. I was like, I want to say 13, 14, and I always dreamed that I was in the Vietnam War. And I was alive during the Vietnam War. I was a kid. But I could actually see me in the jungle and a bullet coming and killing me. Yes. And at that time, there weren't really too many Vietnam movies going on. And then another thing in a past life, I know I was a witch and I was hung. I cannot wear no jewelry around my neck. I just cannot wear nothing around my neck, nor can I wear anything. That's very possible, Dolly. Very possible. That was sad. Sunday nights. But when it came to, I I did get a past life reading done, and yes, I was a witch and I was hung, and so that's why to this day I cannot wear no chains. I cannot wear anything around my neck because it really bothers me. I can't wear nothing around my wrist. I can't wear a watch. They need to be loose. So if you can care, get one. Um, get a past life reading done. I think they're interesting. Uh, Char says, did anyone see the video of Disney's ghost walking through Disneyland? I have not. I will look that up after my show and check it out. And Kara says, I can't wear shirts or hoodie too snug on my neck. I love my hoodies, but I can't, like you, Kara, I can't wear it really tight. I just can't do it. Now back to Marlin, okay, from Finding Nemo, is actually delusional from grief. Oh, I love my hoodies. Oh, yes. Um, the barracuda ate his wife and every egg. Nemo is a hallucination that manifests his grief and his journey to find Nemo. Is actually a metaphor for finding himself again after experiencing loss. Nemo means no one in Latin. Oh my God. That's sick. That's crazy. I'll read it one more time. Marlin from Finding Nemo is actually delusional from grief. The barracuda ate his wife and every egg. Nemo is a hallucination that manifests his grief and his journey to find Nemo is actually a metaphor for finding himself again after experiencing loss. Nemo means no one in Latin. I'm I'm dumbfounded. I was like, damn. And I like Nemo. I did. I like that one. So my brother, he used to give out food, at Costco's. Who Costco's is not a business that is on my show. They do not. I just said Costco's, and it means nobody. Ah, that's cool. Thank you, Dawn. When I was in high school, I was going to be a priest. Everybody, I was actually going to be a priest, and that's what we taught. We were taught in ninth grade. I got kicked out, but we had to learn Latin. and German. Latin's hard. It really is. The only thing I can say in Latin is the Hail Mary and the Glory Be. They drove that into our heads. But the whole thing behind all this shit that I just read and all the other stuff they say about Disney and even cartoons and stuff like that, there's something really wrong with these people. But I can't judge them. I don't know how people can come up with things. I don't know how they can come up by just looking. You know, there's many more, but I won't bring it up for a while because it's kind of crazy. And it's sometimes, and I'll be honest with you, when I read this stuff, I had a hard time wrapping my head around it. Okay. It always says, read Homer's Odyssey about Nemo. Okay. I will. And, okay, one last question before we go into the last break. And then we're going to do a quick break, come back, and we'll talk a little more, and then I'll give the reading with the cards. Kevin, thank you for pulling the animals for me. I appreciate it, man. That means a lot, dude. It really does. So this last question I'm going to ask everybody, what was your favorite horror film? Kara says, my literature teacher in high school taught us the symbolisms in the Tale of Two Cities, yeah. Especially Madame Defarge, when she's knitting all the names of the people who were killed or going to the guillotine or whatever. You're welcome, Kevin. Yeah, that was the only book that I actually read, The Tale of Two Cities. See, I have a hard time reading books because I got ADHD. And I read the first 10 pages, then I jump to the middle, read 10 pages in the middle, and then I read the last 10 pages of the book. Dolly said The Shining. Anybody else out there, what's your favorite horror film? I'll be 13 Ghosts. I really enjoyed 13 Ghosts. That was mind-boggling, but I enjoyed it. And whenever I get the opportunity to go at it again, to watch it again, I will definitely watch it. So thank you, Dolly, for sharing The Shining. Mine was 13 Ghosts. And if there's anybody else out there that has a favorite horror movie, please tell us so we can get into it. Kara says, I can't really remember the name of it, but it was about a man who bought a big box at a yard sale for his daughter, and eventually, at the end, he was trying to get rid of it. I don't know about that one, Kara. The die box. She says, I don't do horror. This is Heidi, but 13 Ghosts was a wild story. Yes, it was. Case 39 was trippy. But again, the horror movies that they make today, yeah, you got some blood and guts going on, but it's mainly psychology, that kind of like drives you crazy. But I don't know. Thank you, everybody, for sharing that. We're going to do one more quick break, come back, wrap up the show, and then I'll get into the reading. Okay? So I'll see you in a couple minutes.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the last half hour of the show, or 20 minutes, however how long it takes to be finished. But yeah, we had some more people talking about their scary movies, and I'm going to bring them up. Let me see where we got. Pumpkinhead on the brush your hair. Alien was a good one. Definitely. Nightmare on Elm Street. They got kind of old, buddy. Kara says The Possession. I didn't sleep for weeks, and if I'm honest, I slept with my mom at 14. That's okay. You do what you have to do to survive, Heidi. Kara says, I never really liked the slasher type movies. Freddy, Jason, Michael, Texas Chainsaw. The Hannibal movies, Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragon. That was good. Clarice. Halloween. The first one was the best. With Jamie Lee Curtis, the very first one, that girl. That was the best Halloween ever. And it really pissed me off that they did so many shows off the Halloween, and Jason. It just like, to me, here's my theory on movies. Okay, you make one, you stick with it. You don't go and make 7 or 8, 9 or 10 of them. That girl says The Exorcism, Jeepers Creepers. Oh yeah, Poltergeist. That was a good one. Yes, those are good ones. I like the dream parts, but not the blood and the guts. On Freddy Krueger. Yeah. So we are going to close up the show. We're just going to put an ending to what I have brought up. And then we're going to go into my reading, because everybody knows that I do a reading after at the end of the show. And so it's like, I want to say that it turned out to be a very good show tonight. And we learned the first thing about mental health. Okay, seriously, mental health, you really seriously need to help people if they need help. You really need to really don't find them, but eventually the person will come to you. And all you have to do is sit there and listen to them. Just sit there and listen to them. And we can go from there. Now, with the Disney stuff, man, that was a little bit creepy. Okay. I still don't believe a lot of that crap. But to bring it up, I had to bring it up to see what the people that I know very well, what their thoughts were. And so if you're still interested in finding out the dark side of Disney's shows, or, cartoons, the dark side of cartoons, you can always look it up. It all depends on how you feel. And then, about the people on the Abraham Lincoln, the kids, the sailors out there, there is help for you out there. There is help. And you have to make that first move and go talk to the chaplains, and you go talk to counselors. because there is help for you out there. You just need it. Have safe voyages home. I salute every single one of you in the Navy, Army, Air Force, and Marines. They're my brothers and sisters. And sure, I'm an old salt at 64, but I still have it in my blood. God bless all the veterans and the deceased veterans. And I'm going to share something real quick, then I'll get into the reading. I go to the VA hospital here in Pittsburgh. Okay. And when I walk in there, being an empath, it's really, really hard. Because I feel the older gentlemen's, I feel the old Navy vets, the old Army Marines that were in Vietnam. And they got that 1,000-yard stare. And if you haven't seen it, it's scary. But the VA hospital here in Pittsburgh is one of the top-notch hospitals that I have ever been to. Because they care about people. They care. From the custodian, the cafeteria workers, all the way up to the head doctors and everybody in between. They care. They don't turn you away. You have a problem, they're there. Medically, whatever, they're there. They don't push you through. It's hard to explain how they care for people. From the oldest person to the youngest one just getting out. And the VA has so many great programs. I will tell you this, if you go to the VA, and what I like about the VA too, is once they got their claws into you, man, they don't let go. And I mean that in a good sense. What I mean by that is, if there's something that you are diagnosed with, they will go and move heaven and hell in a couple mountains just to keep you from not going to see them. And it's the truth. And I just love them. I just love the VA hospital. Dolly says, my dad and I both went together. You're 100% right about the VA. Thank you, Dolly. They are the best hospital ever. And you don't have to wait 2 to 3 weeks to get your test results done. In fact, they're done right then and there, and they tell you right away. So I'm going to give a beautiful shout out to the VA hospital here in Pittsburgh and all the other VA hospitals out there in the United States and even overseas. So that was tonight's show. Okay. And I'm about to do the animal reading. And for people who don't know, the first time coming to the show, okay, or listening to the show, I do, at the end of my shows, I do an animal medicine card reading for everybody. And when I read them, when I pull them, I don't use the definitions, what I see in the book. Okay. I pull a card, and what I pick and feel from the card is what I tell you. Now, this reading could be for everybody. This reading is not for everybody. If it's for you, then I hope it helps you out a lot. And if it doesn't, just keep coming back to the show and we'll get another reading in. So I'm shuffling the cards. Okay. As you can tell, I'm shuffling the cards. And wherever this reading is going to go, it's going to go to. And I don't know where my mouth is going to go or what I pick up or what I see. And I can guarantee it, I'll probably pick up, because I've been drawing a lot of animal cards lately and I've been picking the same animals. And I kind of feel bad that I do that because it's like I don't shuffle, but I do shuffle. So whatever pops into your brain, whatever comes up is going to come up. One card might mean one thing that day and then could be meaning another thing in another day. But if you really want to get into it, okay, honestly, everybody, if you're out and about and you're driving around and a rabbit runs in front of you, look up that rabbit, write it down on a piece of paper or mentally. And then when you get home, look up the rabbit and the spiritual meaning behind it. And I can guarantee you what you read about the spiritual meaning about the rabbit, it will be fit, right? It will be right in the path that you are walking in right now. Okay, so here, I just shuffled them, cutting them once, cutting them twice, cutting them 3 times. All right, here we go. Drive safely. See you next time, Kara. Okay, be safe. First card I pull up is the owl. And this is like really, really cool. The owl. And when I'm looking at that owl, the owl is looking out for you. Okay. The owl is looking to keep an eye on you as you are going or what you're doing right now. It's um, just watching you. It's not talking to you. It's just keeping an eye on you, like protecting you for whatever involvement that you're doing. Okay, and to me, and the owl sees at night. So what's happening here? Okay, is that you might be attempting to do something here, and the owl, and sometimes you're dark. You have blinders on. Okay, and you're just have your mind set on a certain thing. And so the owl actually sees in the between the blinders, and he's there to protect you. If the owl sees you that you are going off the beaten path that you're on, or getting deceived by somebody else or whatever, then and it's like that's what the owl is there for, is protecting you. Then I pull in the badger. Okay, and I like the way this reading's going. It's not a good reading so far, but the badger, you're very defensive. I see a defensive posture going on after this. Now I don't know if you're mad at the people who are at the situation that you're in right now, that you're getting angry. Are they cornering you? Okay, are they cornering you, or are they coming at you tooth and nail, fighting you? And with the badger, you're the badger, and so you got your claws out, man. You're ready to attack. It's like, leave me alone. This is my piece. This is my way. Um, so stay away. But you also have to remember too that you got the owl keeping an eye on you. You know what I mean? So you got extra protection there. But the badger, though, you know, I'm hoping this comes out to be a good card, and it is the dragonfly. Okay. Now the dragonfly, I just read up on the dragonfly that it eats everything it kills. So what I'm seeing with the dragonfly is it's not eating the people who are attacking you, it's eating your thoughts about what you want to do to people. Okay, the harm you want to do to people because they're affecting your life today. What the dragonfly is doing, coming out of your brain, the dragonflies down there eating them up. So you don't have those thoughts, that you can continue doing what you're doing. Okay, do you understand? I hope people understand on this one. But that's what the dragonflies do. And they're quick and they move all up and down, left and right, whatever. So that's why the dragonflies there. Because you really don't need to pull out the badger, because you have animals around everywhere helping you out. And when I mean by animals, also what I mean, it's not so much the spiritual animals that are helping you out. You have a lot of people helping you out, but you got to take the blinders off and let people help you. That's the main thing that I'm picking up on this reading, is that you have to let people help you. and it's okay to ask for help. Now we got the grouse. And what does a grouse do? To me, when I look at the grouse, it hides in the grass. Okay, it hides in grass. So, it's like the dragonfly's eating up all those negativity things that you have in your brain. And finally, the dragonfly ate all those negatives, and your claws are coming back. You're not dealing with the shit that's happening in front of you. You took your blinders off, and now you got the grouse. And it's like you're retreating, you're hiding from something, and you don't need to hide. Okay, you don't need to hide it. You need to just like step out of the grass and just say, hey, I'm here. I know what I have to do. I got people who are protecting me, so I'll be okay. I'll be okay. And that's how I'm looking at this reading. Now, the 5-1 is the otter. That's the last card, the otter. And I don't like what the otter has, what I see in the otter. It just seems like once you got rid of the badger, all right, and then you finally got yourself back to decency again, all of a sudden you got the otter. Now, the otter means family, which means all the people around you helping you, but the otter is also vicious. And it attacks and it kills to eat. And it don't know, and it doesn't matter, okay, who they eat or who they attack or whatever. They just go and attack, especially river otters. So what I see in this reading is that take a step back, look at your surrounding areas, okay? Look at your surroundings and see what's going on. See what's going on, finding out how you can kind of like go a different way. And that's when you go and you ask the owl for help. And I will tell you, the owl will help you out. It's just that you have to listen to the owl. So that's the best, what I feel in the ring. I'm going to just draw one more, see what happens. Aha, okay. So I just said, you just sit back and relax and take a whole look at the situation that you're in. And this is what happens. You turn into a butterfly with beautiful wings, flying around, not a fear in the world, enjoying the flowers, enjoying life. So eventually that was a decent reading. You finally listened to the owl, and the next card came up was the butterfly. So I hope everybody enjoyed that reading tonight. It is getting close to the witching hour. I hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight. Dolly, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in and watching the show and putting your input in there. I truly appreciate that. Heidi, Kevin, everybody, that girl, Kiara, everybody. I got wonderful people. And you know what? I say this all the time. Everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. And I truly believe that. Children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents and if you have no children, find someone, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way And please remember, protect the children and follow your path. Good night, everybody. Sweet dreams. I'll see you Tuesday night. Oh, come on. Come on.